I'm Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice Paradise and BoardGameGeek, and this is December 2019's Top 10 Hottest Games, based on the titles that are generating the most traffic and discussion on the BoardGameGeek website over the past 30 days. These games are tracked on the site's Hottest Games list, and the higher and longer a game remains on that list throughout the course of the month, higher it ranks in our top 10. 173 different games appeared on the list over the last 30 days, including the game at number 1, which is a game that has never appeared in the top spot in our countdown ever before. Which game is it? Well, we'll find out, but first, we'll start at the tail end of our countdown with number 10. Alright, starting off the month is the game that steps back one spot to number 10, Brass Birmingham, published by Roxley. Brass Birmingham is an economic strategy game that's also a sequel to Martin Wallace's 2007 masterpiece, Brass. Now, Brass Birmingham, like several other games in this month's episode, have appeared in our countdown for 3 or more months in a row. So, this episode we're going to do a little something different here. We're going to couple these multi-repeaters with a quick look at the other games on the countdown that rose the most spots but still didn't crack the top 10. For example, the game at number 81 this month, Minecraft Builders and Biomes, got there by rising up 84 different spots. Now, as in the original digital version of Minecraft, Minecraft Builders and Biomes invites players to explore the overworld, build structures, and mine resources, earning points for structures and the largest connected biomes of forest, desert, mountain, or snowy tundra spaces on their player boards. Familiar foes like Endermen, Creepers, and other mobs also appear throughout the game, and they need to be defeated using weapons collected from the board. To do so, players will utilize a stack of resource cubes throughout the game, and as soon as the third layer of these resource cubes runs out, the adventure comes to an end, and the builder with the most points, surprise, wins. Slipping down 2 spots to end at number 9 this month is Everdell, a game of tableau building and worker placement by Starling Games. Everdell's performance this month is likely related to its upcoming second and third expansions, Spirecrest and Belfair, which were discussed in last month's episode. So you can check that out if you'd like more details about each of those expansions. Now, Everdell itself was released over a year ago, and its popularity seems to have steadily increased over time, like a slow burn. In fact, Everdell just cracked the list of the top 100 highest ranked games of all time on BoardGameGeek's website, reaching number 89 as of the time of this recording. It's always neat to see how a game's player base grows over time. So I want to know if you are one of those players. Do you play Everdell? And if so, do you think that this game is going to continue its rise on BGG's list of all-time greatest games? Share your predictions in this video's comments and we'll see what happens. And dropping down 4 spots to end the month at number 8 is... that can't be right. No, Gloomhaven? The Gloomhaven? This is the same Gloomhaven that has held the number 1 position for 19 of the past 32 months? I don't think I've ever seen this game outside of the top 4. Wow, my world no longer makes sense. Allow me to recapture my composure by mentioning another game that made great strides up the countdown this month, which is 2013's Concordia, which rose 86 spots to end the month at number 58. This leap may be fueled, partially, by gamers searching to find a copy of the game's Venus expansion. A representative of one of the game's publishing partners, Rio Grande Games, recently confirmed that a new printing of Concordia have been shipped and should be arriving in stores around mid to late December. So if you, like me, have been waiting for these titles to become available once again, well, you may now have your opportunity to add them to your gaming library very, very soon. And easing back 1 spot down to number 7 this month is one of only 2 games that have appeared in the top 10 every single month since this series began, Terraforming Mars, published by Stronghold Games. Terraforming Mars is a fantastic game that many people love, many people play, and many people already know about. So therefore, let's turn our attention to the next game on the list of biggest climbers outside of the top 10, which would be Turmoil, the expansion for Terraforming Mars, because of course it is. This expansion rose 97 spots to end the month at number 72, giving me a reason to talk about Terraforming Mars yet again. Now, the 5th expansion here is shipping to its Kickstarter backers right now, this very moment as I record this. This expansion takes players back to Mars and introduces the political struggle for control and progress of human society on a big and dangerous planet. Because really, what's a game about realizing humanity's potential without some petty bureaucratic bickering thrown into the mix as well? The Turmoil expansion includes new corporations, new projects, and a new type of cards, global events, all of which should be arriving on this planet for gamers to enjoy very soon. Gliding down 4 spots to perch at number 6 this month is Wingspan, designed by Elizabeth Hargrave and published by Stonemaier Games. Wingspan is a competitive, medium-weight, card-driven engine-building game in which you and your fellow players seek to discover and attract the best birds to your network of wildlife preserves. Now, another game out there that's been stretching its wings and gaining altitude this month is Azul Summer Pavilion, which soars up the list 116 spots to end the month at number 50. In this follow-up to Azul, players return to Portugal to accomplish a task that never actually began. See, after completing the palaces of Evora and Sintra, King Manuel I sought to build a summer pavilion to honor the most famous members of the royal family. But sadly, the king died before construction on this ever began. And so, in Azul's Summer Pavilion, you play a master artisan who must use the finest materials available to create the long-awaited summer pavilion while carefully avoiding wasting supplies. Now, only the best will rise to the challenge to honor the Portuguese royal family, and it may be you if you're one of the people who plays this game. Azul Summer Pavilion has great momentum going into this month, and we'll see if that momentum continues and if the game actually cracks the official top 10 in episodes to come. Rising up 5 spots to end at number 5 is Maracaibo, the new strategy game for 1 to 4 players by Alexander Pfister, set in the Caribbean during the 17th century. In Maracaibo, players try to increase their influence with 3 nations over 4 rounds. Games typically take about 40 minutes per player, with these players sailing across the Caribbean where they will encounter various city tiles where goods will be discovered and various actions can be performed. A lot of people have been anticipating the release of this game, and according to a message from Capstone Games themselves, copies of Maracaibo were estimated to start shipping to those who pre-ordered it around November 25th. So, by that estimate, people who pre-ordered the game can expect their shipments to arrive really soon if they haven't already. Rising up 29 spots to end this month at number 4 is this month's biggest climber within the top 10, and this month's only game to make its debut in the top 10, Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, published by Awakened Realms. See, Ryan Smith? I told you it was going to appear in this month's top 10. In a land that is slowly sinking into the weirdness and torn apart by conflict, surviving each day is a challenge on its own. No, this isn't life as a liberal arts major, it's Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. In this game, starvation, sickness, violent weather, and random incidents all conspire to end your journey. What's more, guardian menhirs that ensured safe travel throughout the realm are slowly going dark, turning simple logistics into involving puzzles. To overcome all of these challenges, the characters that you play must develop and grow along several conflicting lines of attributes, such as brutality, empathy, practicality, and spirituality. These traits unlock a rich choice of mutually exclusive skills and lead to different deck-building strategies, with the objective of making character advancement meaningful and deep while you play the game. The designers of Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, aim to push the boundaries of the game's non-linear narrative, building upon the Awakened Realms' past experiences of infusing ambitious stories and engaging board game mechanisms together with striking visuals. Not budging an inch from its spot at number 3 this month is Nemesis, also by Awakened Realms. Nemesis is a 1 to 5 player survival sci-fi game where players are woken up from their hibernation as a crew of a long-dormant voyaging spaceship. Unfortunately, one of the reasons why the crew's hibernation has been cut short is because the ship has been infested by alien invaders, which, if you listen carefully, you can hear scuttling around through the distant corridors of the ship. Terrifying. Almost as terrifying as this segue I'm about to make to another game in which players will want to explore mysterious passageways as quietly as possible, which is Clank, a deck-building adventure which rose 130 spots this month to end at number 38. Now, the Clank line recently saw the release of a legacy version based on the misadventures of the Acquisitions Incorporated podcast. Now, in this version of the game, players found their own franchise of the legendary adventuring company Acquisitions Incorporated, and then shepherded their fledgling treasure hunters to immortal corporate glory over the course of multiple games. The players' game boards, their decks, the board itself, and the rules change throughout the course of the campaign, leaving players with a unique experience that is tailor-fit to their specific adventuring party. Making its fourth appearance on the countdown is former number 1, Tapestry by Stonemaier Games, which ends this month in spot number 2. In Tapestry, players compete to create the strongest civilization. But since the game's release, there have been some discussions going on among players that suggest certain civilizations in the game have a distinct advantage over other ones, leading to concerns over the game's overall balance. On November 22nd, Jamie Stegmaier of Stonemaier Games addressed these concerns directly by releasing an official rules update adjusting 8 of the game's civilizations in an effort to balance them all out. Several civilizations in this update now begin with more or even fewer victory points or resources. Now, down in this video's description, I'm going to give you a link to a forum thread that includes information on these civilization adjustments, along with a printable reference sheet in case you would like to update your copy of Tapestry as well. And here we go, powering up to gain 7 spaces to end the month at the top spot for the very first time is Marvel Champions, the card game by Fantasy Flight Games. Marvel Champions, the card game, invites players to embody iconic heroes from the Marvel Universe as they battle to stop infamous villains from enacting their devious schemes. This is a living card game, which means Marvel Champions will be supported with regular releases of new cards, including new heroes and scenarios, allowing players to jump into the Marvel Universe with Iron Man and Black Panther teaming up to stop villains like Rhino from rampaging through the streets of New York. Or perhaps, if you care, Captain Marvel and Spider-Man could battle Ultron as he threatens global annihilation, which, believe me, is a bummer if it happens. So tell me, do you have what it takes to join the ranks of these legendary heroes and become a champion and continue to make this a game that I talk about on our top 10 for months and years to come? This superpower is within your hands. And there you have it. There is your list of the top 10 most popular board games as of December 2019. And for more board game countdowns, news, previews, and playthroughs, be sure to subscribe and turn on those fun little notifications so you don't miss any of the videos that are posted on this channel. Until next time though, thanks for watching, and I have been Chaz Marler from Pair of Dice, Paradise, and BoardGameGeek. Take care.